ah, 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 shit. Hey guys, good morning, afternoon, evening. This is Cloudy Wind and welcome to our very first study stream. Yes, I like to study in the middle of the night. It is 10:20 p.m. Singapore time now. The best time to burn what's that called? Midnight oil. Yeah, the best time to burn midnight oil. And so yes, we are studying now. Let me check on YouTube. Okay, I think everything is okay. Ikuzo. Let me check. I think I have already tweeted about it. Let me check my tweet. Okay, Ikuzo. So today this is the very first learning stream that I'm doing, and if it works, as in if there are people viewing, I might, I don't know, do other learning stream if it's not too boring. Yeah. So today we are going to learn SQL from the very beginning. This, if you can see my screen, this is mysql. So mysql is a free database app, so anybody can download. You don't even have to register actually, just to download. So I downloaded mysql from mysql.com. So you need to download the database, and you also need to download this mysql workbench. So this is a UI that we will use for all the SQL that we are going to run. So Ikuzo. So first of all, you need to create an instance. So I've created an instance. Ta-da! So this is how, wait, let me see, I want to make sure that the UI looks okay. Right, let me remove the margin. I think there's a margin at the top, so you can't really, how do I remove the margin? It's the crop, right? Okay, taskaru. Okay, I've removed the margin, so it should be okay now. Okay, so this is how the mysql workbench look like. On the left side is all the schemas. So all these are the sample schema that you can download together with when you download the mysql. And then this will be the schema information. I will show you more later when it's available. Oh, the schema information is right where the chat is. Okay, yeah, there it is. And then on the big blank page here is the query panel where you write the query, and then below is the output. So if let's say there's any error message, you will see it somewhere below also. So Ikuzo. So first we need to create a database, and I'm going to use Uma Musume as an example to create a database because why not? Okay, let me access the code that I have written on the side. So first you create a database. Okay, are they? Okay, so this is the code to create the database. How do I zoom in? Is this zooming? No, this is not zooming. How do I zoom in? How do I zoom in? How do I zoom in? View. Oh, there's no zooming. Nani? Oh, okay. I hope you can see. No, that's not helping. Okay, so this is, I hope this is not too small. Let me take a look on the screen. Okay lah, it's not too small. Okay, so this is the code to create our database. So the first statement is actually to drop the database. That means if let's say there's any existing database with the same name, we want to drop it first. Okay, and then it's a good practice so that if let's say for example you want to create a new database, in case there's a conflict in the name, so it's always good to drop the database with the same name first, and then we create database. Okay, and then we use the database. Simple. Okay, so to run this, you can just put your cursor anywhere along the line, and then just click on this light link with a cursor, so it will execute the statement that is under the cursor, which means that anywhere that you have the cursor, it will execute that few lines of query. Okay, or you can also highlight and then you click on it. Okay, database does not exist. Okay, so there's an error already. So because the database doesn't exist, so there was no drop. Okay, but let's see whether the database is still created even though there's an error, because sometimes they do that depending on what's the error. So how do we know whether the database is created? We go back to this part, the schema panel, and then there's a refresh button here. So you click on refresh. Hi. Name or nothing. Okay, so the database wasn't created. So let's just run the create then. Okay, now we have a message below, create database, one row affected, which means that you can see a tick there, so which means that it is created now. I think I need to shift my chat window here today. Okay, so how do we know whether the database have been created successfully? Again, we do a refresh on the schema panel, and tada, this time we have the database, Uma Musume database. But now we only have the database, there's nothing inside the table. So let's create the table. Okay, so in order to create the table, we use the create table command. So let's go down one. Okay, here's a lot. So I have some create table commands here. So the first table we want to create is Uma demographics. This is the table name Uma demographics, and in this table we have the Uma ID, which is the ID. So in database, every table needs a primary key, which is the identifier. Just like we have everybody has a passport number that's unique to each of us, or NRIC number for Singaporeans. So Uma ID is the same. I mean, not Uma ID. The primary key is the same. So it is unique to that particular row of data. So that is the unique key. So every data is in a row. So every row needs a unique key. So this Uma ID is the unique key for this table. And then we have Uma name. Okay, so Uma ID int not null, you see here, it means that it's an integer that cannot be null, that cannot be left blank. Okay, usually ID can be integer, it can also be characters, a string, or whatever. It really depends on you, but it has to be unique. Uma name varchar 20. So what this means is that Uma name is this variable is consists of variable character set up to 20. So there is a Okay, so there is a char, and then there is a varchar. So the difference between char and varchar is that char, you can have char. Wait, let me see. Yeah, just wanted to make sure that I'm correct. Okay, so you can have varchar, you can have char. So what's the difference? The difference is that if let's say I write char 20, it means that this variable has 20 characters allocated already. So even if you enter David, there's only 5 characters, right? It's not going to make use of the other 15 characters, but they already allocated 20 characters, so you are like kind of wasting resources. That's why usually we try to use varchar, because what varchar do is that when you put varchar 20, it means that you can use up to 20 characters. If let's say we put in the name David, it only use 5 char, then it only allocate the space for 5 char. So this is like more efficient. And also you see that I put 2 dash here, dash dash. This also means something. So dash dash means that this is command, do not run. So that's why you can see there is a different color also. Okay. Speed is integer, stamina integer, power integer, guts integer, wit integer. Blue spot, varchar 10. Pink spot, varchar 10. Acquired date is date. So date itself is consists of date and time. We will go more into it in the future. And then okay, so this is the table Uma demographics. So let's highlight it and then run. There, we got problem already. Oops. Okay, so that's the thing. This is my SQL issue. We have to select the table first. Okay, once I select the table is in bold, it will be able to run. I'll be able to run the table because just now I didn't select any database, so the table is like I'm trying to create a table in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so now let's run again, and you can see from below the table has been created with a tick. So what we can do is we refresh the schema panel, and you can see now there's an arrow next to table, and when you open it, you click on the Uma demographics, you can see that right below here is the schema panel information. You can see that the table Uma demographics has been created with this column, which is the columns that we talked about just now, and Uma ID is highlighted as in bold and underline because that's the primary key, also PK. Okay, we created one table. Let's create another table, Uma distance. Okay, we have the same Uma ID. Usually when so there's 2 ways to create the key for the table. So you can create in this database. What I did was actually I find that it's not very efficient, but I mean for learning I think it's okay. I created the same Uma ID, so which means that these 2 Uma ID are the same ID even though it's in 2 different tables. But what I can do is also I can also do like Uma distance ID. Okay, and then this will be the primary key, and then I have to of course put primary key Uma distance ID. Then it will recognize that that's the primary key. Don't forget the comma. Okay, and then when I want to link these 2 tables together, I need I can actually link using Uma ID equal to Uma distance ID. I will talk more about it in the future when we talk about joining tables. So that's usually, yeah, I think the best way is actually to create a different name for a different table for the ID. But since in this case we are using the same UMA ID, the same primary key, that's why we don't have to declare it as a primary key again. It's the same primary key but using a different table. Okay, let's create this UMA distance table. Okay. Refresh. Yes, we can see that UMA distance is created. Okay. There. What's this? Oh, I accidentally. Okay, and then we have another table called the UMA style. Okay, so I have a style ID, which is the primary key. Like you can see here, primary key style ID. It's an integer and not null, and I added something extra here, which is auto increment. It means that this number will increase by itself. So let's say first row is 1, the second row will be 2, the third row will be 3. So I don't even have to enter style ID when I insert the data later. It will automatically create the ID. I will show you later when I insert the rows. And then we have a style name, which is varchar not now. Okay, so let's create this table. Okay, refresh, and we have our UMA style. Okay, so we have created 3 tables now, and the next thing to do is to populate this table, because now what you have is just the table. It's like you have Excel spreadsheet, you have 3 tabs but it's empty, so we have to put some data into the table, right? Okay, so the next thing we do is the insert function. Okay, let me copy over. Okay, let's go down. Okay, so this is the insert function. This is how you insert data into the table via query. Of course, you can also I mean, this is a very tedious way of entering data, but usually what we do is we just upload the CSV. So another way to actually populate the table, you can just right click and can I do that? Yeah, table data import wizard. So that is where you can upload the CSV, which is actually created from Excel, which is much more easier. So in this case, just to show you guys how it's written, so you have the insert function. So insert into UMA demographics. Again, UMA demographics, you have all these columns. So we want to insert and fill up every column. So we have UMA ID, UMA name, speed, stamina, power, guts, weight, blue spot, pink part, and acquired day. Values. Okay, so what are the values? So these are the values. For example, the first one, UMA ID 1, UMA name Maruzensky, speed 864, stamina 750, power 671, guts 356, weight 579, blue spot speed 2 star, pink spot medium 2 star, and the acquired date. And this is the format of the date. It's year, month, and then day. Okay, and then okay, the cross here is telling me there's an error somewhere, but they won't, of course they won't tell you where's the error. I don't know why all the programming language are like that. Okay, so there's a missing comma. Now it should be fine. Okay, so you see there's no cross on the left. So let's run this insert function. Okay, we can see that on the output panel, insert into, we have 8 rows affected, which means that we have successfully added 8 rows. I'll show you the rows later. Okay, so similarly, we want to insert the values for UMA distance. So same thing, let's run this, and then UMA style, let's run this. Okay, so all our tables have data now. So these are the data that we enter into the tables. So now that we have data in the table, we can actually start we can start viewing the table. But before that, I want to teach you something. So let's say, for example, I made a mistake. So that I say these two tables, Uma demographics and Uma distance, they are using the same primary key, right? So I accidentally did, okay, not accidentally, but so number 8, the number 8 Uma in Uma demographic is Go Ship, but in Uma distance my number is Sakura Bashino, which is not correct. So Sakura Bashino should be number 9. I made a mistake. So what can I do? So I can update this value. So what I do is, there's this command called update command. Before the update command, so for safety reason, for my SQL, they actually do not allow you to update unless you turn off the save update. So first we need to set SQL save update to 0, which means that now we turn off the protection and we can update. Okay, so we update Uma distance, set Uma ID equal to 9, where the Uma name is Sakura Bashino. So it will search for the name, Uma name where it is Sakura Bashino, and then it will update the Uma ID from 8 to 9. Okay, so you will run this, and then after that we can set the safety back to 1, which means that yes, please don't anyhow allow update. So first we run this. Okay, as you can see in the output panel, set save SQL save update is 0. Okay, then you run the update. Okay, 1 row affected, it has been updated. We will see and check, we'll confirm later. And then we set the SQL save update back to 1, so that there's no accidental update. Okay, so far we have already created our database, but we also want to know whether we did indeed created the right data in the database, in the tables, right? So what we do now is we can use the basic select statement. So for example, we just use the easiest one, which is select star from table Uma demographics. So what this does, select star from Uma demographic or table, is that when you run this, ta-da, it will show you everything that's inside the table, every single column and every single row. So this was what we entered just now, remember, when we insert. So it's exactly what we inserted. You can see that the last row was number 8, and then after that is now. That means the table ends there. Okay, so this is how the most basic function, how you see the table, which is select everything, star is everything from table name. That's really easy, right? Okay, so what if you only want to select some columns, not all columns? So what we can do is, for example, I only want to see, let's say select, I want to see the Uma name, I want to see the blue spot, and I want to see the pink spot. Okay, from Uma demographics. Okay, always remember the semicolon. So in this case, you will only see 3 columns: the Uma name, blue spot, and pink spot. So this is exactly what we do to select the column we want to see. Okay, and then let's say you want to see, okay, let's say now I change, instead of blue spot, pink spot, I change to speed. Okay, so now I have the Uma name and the speed. Okay, but what if this is the speed during the career run, and then we got these stats, And then we all know that in PvP, the pad okay, so during career run in Uma Musume, there is a 600 padding, which means that in PvP you have to minus 600 from the stats to know what actually is your speed or any other stats. So what we can do is, if I want to know that, so I select Uma name again, and the speed, and then I can do speed minus 600 from Uma demographics. And then here we have the new column that we created, speed minus 600. And then we can see that, oh no, ghost ship, your speed is only 50. Yeah. So this is, we can do this on the spot calculation also when we use select for the columns. And then what if okay, let's say now I change, instead of speed, I change it to blue spot, pink spot. I change it back to blue spot, pink spot. So what if I want to know show only the distinct blue spot and pink spot? I only want to know what are the unique spots. Then what I can do is I can select distinct blue spot, pink spot from Uma demographics. So what it does is it shows only the unique wait, no, it doesn't show only the unique. What did I go wrong? Okay, because there's two columns. Okay, this actually will work only if there's one column. Yeah, so let me go back there. Let's say we look at the blue spot and pink spot. Okay, let's say we look at blue spot. Let's not confuse everybody. Okay, you can see that we have different kinds of blue spot. We have speed 2, power 3, speed 3, stamina 2, stamina 3, and power 2. But some of them are duplicated, like Maruzensky and Air Growth has the same speed 2 blue spot. But I want to know what are the unique blue spot. We use the word distinct for that one column, and then we run again. Then we will know that, oh, these are the unique ones: speed 2, power 3, speed 3, stamina 2, stamina 3, and power. So this is how you find the unique values in a single column. Okay, and then what if you have a huge table? I mean, in our case, the table is very small because this is just a tutorial. But in actual database, they can be like up to a few thousand rows. So if let's say you were to run a few thousand rows, it's going to take like a long time because databases are known to be slow. So what do you do if you don't want to like spend like half an hour sitting there looking at the screen? So you can use this okay, where will I select everything from demographics, right? You can use this word called limit. So I can limit to 5, for example. So by right we have 8 rows in our table. If I put a word limit 5 there, it will only show the top 5 rows. So this is how you use the word limit to actually limit the number of rows returned. And then okay, so just now what we did was this. So this is very ugly, right? Excuse me. Speed minus 600. So if let's say, for example, okay, speed minus 600 is still acceptable, but what if I show something like okay, so So sorry, this is another the label one is another one. Okay, let me try again. So this is speed minus 600. It's quite understandable. But let's say I want to change the name of this column. How do I do that? So what you can do is you put this bracket as non-padded speed. Okay, if you do this, it will change the column name, so you don't see the ugly speed minus 600. Yeah, that was what I wanted to show you. Okay, then there's something called label also. So it's two different things. One is with the word label, one is without the word label. The difference is, okay, for example, if okay, I added a where. So if let's say I have column where the have a row where the have a row, UMA where the distance medium is equal to S, that is the only UMA that will show. Okay, let me try to give a better explanation. So select everything from demographics. Okay, this is everything. I can use the where statement to look for specific UMAs or specific record. So I want to select where where blue spark is equal to speed 3. Okay, so by right it should only show Grass Wonder and Mayano Top Gun, because these are the only two with speed 3 blue spark. So let's run this. So as expected, this where will help you to find the exact records with the specific information you want. Okay, so how about this S label? So what it means is that if let's say you find let's say I add this to where was it? Oh, here. Okay, where's the comma? Okay, let's say I do this. Oh, okay, it doesn't work because wait, because I need to bring this down. Okay, select everything and then a group for medium race as label. Okay, so what if I run this? So it actually added one more column on the spot called label. So it will look for all the UMA that has a blue spark equal to speed 3 and then add a new label, group for medium race. So this is how you spontaneously add a new column to your table, and then that's your label. I guess, I don't know, I'm not sure whether there's much use for this in real life, but well, it's there. So that is how you use the select and the where. So under where, as you can see just now, we were using equal, right? So we were looking for UMA where distance median equal to S. But how about if let's say okay, let's run let's run this again without the where. Okay, so there are also other ways to use the where. So let's say we have select UMA name, speed, stamina, power, guards, weight from UMA demographics. Where? Okay, let's try a few example. we can have where speed is less than 700. Okay, let's run this. By right, it will only show the UMAs that with the speed less than 700. Are they? Ah, okay. So as you can see, it shows only 3 UMA with speed less than 700. Or you can also run more than, and then you can see that these are the UMA with speed more than 700, and then you can run equal. So all the less than, more than, equal, you know, all the sorts of things. And then the next thing that we can do is, we can also use the logic kind. So this is what I mean, the logic kind of comparison. So let's say in this case, okay, let's run run this again. Okay, so what we can do is we can also run where the pink spot is equal to median, or okay, let's say I put or blue spot is equal to speed. So if we run this, it will show the rows where either the pink spot is medium 2 or the row blue spot is speed 3. But we can also put or not. If you put a word not after the or, it means that the blue spot cannot be speed 3. So in this case, I think we'll be only left with Maruzensky. Are there? Oh yeah. So okay, it's my fault. So actually in this case you actually have more, because you are only looking for the blue spot that is not speed 3. So any other blue spot will show, and then or if the pink spot is medium 2. So this is how you can use the and, or, not. Okay, if you use and, yeah, why not use an and? I don't know whether there's any UMA like that. Do we have? Oh, glass wonder. Okay, so in this case I use an and. It must be pink spot equal to medium 2, and then blue spot must be speed 3. Then you have the one glass wonder. Okay, so these are the basic ways to use the select and the where. And then next I'm going to teach you something that is a little bit different. So okay, let's go to let's rerun this. Okay, again showing our table. So what if I want to look for all the stamina, because there's so many. Okay, let's say I look for only the speed. I don't care whether it's speed 2 or speed 3. I want to know what are the UMA with speed blue spot. Then what I can do is select UMA name, spell wrong, speed, okay, blue spot, from UMA demographics, where blue spot like wait, what's that? Okay, so where blue spot, okay, if you do this, blue spot equal to speed 2. Okay, if you do this, what it will do is it will only show you the UMA with blue spot equal to speed 2. But I want to also see, I want to see all the blue spot. As long as it's speed, I don't care whether it's speed 2 or speed 3. So if I want to do that, I can just put speed percentage. But you cannot use the equal, you have to use like. So what this do is that it will look for any blue spot value that has the word speed in front, and then percentage means any other thing. It can be a space, it can be blank, it can be nothing, it can be any other words behind the word speed. So if you run this, you will see all the UMA with the blue spot equal to speed 2 or 3. Okay, then if let's say you put the percentage in front, let's say you put the percentage in front and then you put, let's say, 2. Okay, what it does is that I don't care whether what's in front, but at this word, for blue spot, this string, this character must end with the word 2. So what it will do is it will show any blue spot with any different, it doesn't care whether what's the text in front excuse me, and then end with 2. So this is how you use the like to look for string. So this can be pretty useful actually. Then okay, then what if you want to search for multiple values, the specific values that you want? So let's say we go back to this. Okay, I just realized that I didn't announce on. Did I announce? Yeah, I did. I think I did announce. Okay, so let's say I want to look for all the UMA that okay, let's say I'll write the select first. So I want all the UMA name, blue spark, pink spark, from UMA demographics, where I want to look for all the medium spark. Okay, so where pink spark in, okay, I can have a medium, if I can spell medium 1, that will be medium 1 star, medium 2 star, medium 3 star. Okay, so if you do this, it will look for all the UMA that has a pink spot in medium 1, 2 or 3. So these are the UMA with pink spot medium 2 or 3. Because medium 1 cannot be found, so it will just ignore it, but it will show 2 and 3 because we can find the 2 and 3s. So this is how you can look for specific data in your rows. Okay, what's next? Count. Okay, count is interesting. Okay, okay, let's go back to UMA demographics. Okay, what if I want to count the number of pink spark? So what does it do? So let's say I don't put the word distinct, I just would select count pink spark as number of spark. So this is the column name I want to use instead of just count pink spark. So what happens is, let's say I don't put this, I just put select count pink spark. So what will happen is you'll see count pink spark 8, which is like what? So there are 8 pink spots. Okay, can so number of pink spots. Okay, now you change the word number of pink spots, it's easier to read. Okay, but out of these pink spots, there are some that are duplicated, right? So what if I only want to know the non-duplicated one? Then you put the word distinct. Then there are only 6 pink spots that are unique. So let's go back to our table and see whether it's correct. 6, huh? We have medium 2, pace 2, medium 3, curve 3, pace 3, and ends 2. Indeed, there are 6 pink spots that are unique. So this is how you look for, how you use the word count to count the number of unique items. So far we have looked at the basic select function using just where. But what if I want to look for something that is even more complicated? I want to group the data together or categorize data together. Then we use the group function. So let me show you how it works. So in this case, let's say I want to know that for the different blue spark, should I use blue spark? I think pink. Which one has more categories? Let me try again. So we have, yeah, blue spark has more duplicated. Yeah, so we have 8 record, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So what it does is that we are now grouping the blue spark. So we select the blue spark and then we find the average speed. So what it means is that this is the average. AVG is average. So this is the average speed of all the UMAs under the blue spark of speed 2. And then this is the average speed for UMAs with power 3 stars, 3-star power. So this is how we use the group to look for to calculate things like average. We can also do things like minimum. Okay, minimum width. I think that is lower. Yeah. So this will be the minimum width. So let's say, for example, we also have maximum. So okay, let's remember for speed 2, the maximum width is 579. Let's run the table again. Speed 2, right? So we have 2 speed 2, we have 340 and 579. So 579 is the maximum, which was what this running this give us. So you can actually group the data by category and then do some max calculation in it. So this is how you do it using the group by. Okay, and then you have I think I show this. This will be easy to understand. So what is this trying to do? So okay, let me first run Uma distance. If I can type. Okay, if I run Uma distance, these are all the distance for the different UMAs. You can see that there's a null here, which means that we didn't enter anything for Grass Wonder for this information. Okay, so null means nothing. It's not a blank, it's not 0, it's just not entered. Okay, so I want to know just the distance of medium. What's their rating for distance, for medium, and what are their rating for long. So if I do this group by, okay, you can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 8 of them, but we are only showing 6 because we are grouping them. I think it's easier to visualize if, let's say, I just put 1. Okay, let me just put one column. It's easier to see. Then you can see that there are only A, S, and G for the medium distance. Okay, let me run again. Medium distance, A, S, and G indeed. So by using the group function, you can check what are the different groups in that particular column. So that is the very basic of group function. There are reasons why we want to use the group function. So let me give you an example. So for example, So just now we went through speed, maximum, minimum, right? There's also count. So let's say, for example, if we run this, what it does is that it checks that for grouping by the blue spot, the different blue spot, what's the average speed for all the UMA in the blue spot with 2 speed, what's the maximum stamina, minimum stamina, and how many count stamina. That means how many different staminas there are. In this case, we know that there were 2 UMA with speed 2, so definitely there are 2 count for the stamina. So this is how we use the word we use the group by function. It's actually more for calculation. Okay, and then there's one more thing to add to it. After you use the word group by, you can also use having. So if you go back to the front, right, when we use the word where, so okay, here, this one. So in this case, we are looking for rows or UMA where the speed is more than 700. But in this case, because we have already grouped the rows together. So let's say, for example, Maruzensky and Air Groove are in the same group for the blue spot, because we are grouping by blue spot. If let's say they're in the same blue spot, we cannot use where to look for them, because we have to look for the blue spot itself, the groups of blue spot, instead of just the individual record. So in this case, we use the word having. So let's say without this having, what this does is that it shows all the blue spot with the average width. Okay, but what if I only want, in this case I only want where the average speed average width is more than 300. So in this case, the stamina 2 and stamina 3 should not appear. So this is what happened. So when you want to look for certain values for that group or the category, use having instead of where. Okay, so far that's select, grouping, and having. Select, where, grouping, having. Okay, then the next thing is let's go back to the demographics. Okay, for now we can see that these UMAs are entered into the database based on, well, random sequence, like whoever they enter it just happen to enter this way. But what if I want to group this, I want to see it in a certain order. So let's say the most common will be select, the most common will be by name, right? You want to show it by name, right? Speed, stamina, from power also lah. Power is important. From UMA demographics, order by UMA name. Okay, let's say I do without order by UMA name. I do the normal, just select from. It will just show me this in the exact order that the records were entered. Okay, let's say now I want to order by UMA name. Then it will show me in the ascending order. So of course start with Air Groove, and then it will end with winning ticket. We can also use it in descending order. So okay, let's say I want to order by descending order. Then winning ticket will be first, and then Air Groove will be last. But what if I want to order by one ascending and one descending? So what if I want to order by UMA name, but I want to know who is the from the Okay, let's say I want to know from the faster speed to the lower speed. So I can order by speed, and then also by Uma name, descending maybe. No, don't make it so complicated. So it goes, I want to go descending from for speed. I want descending for speed from the highest speed. So you can see the air growth has the highest speed, then followed by yeah. Actually, the Uma name in the end doesn't really matter, because unless we have two Uma with the same speed, then the Uma name will be in the order that we want, which is ascending. Let's say, for example, we have air growth at 903, and then Haruna at 903 also. Then it will be air growth 903. The second record will be Haruna 903. Then the third one will be Maruzensky 864. So that is how we use the order. Yeah. Okay. Then what else? Okay, I think we can talk about join now. So these are all the basic functions of how you get data out from a table. And then now we are going to look at what if we want to join the table. So okay, so let me copy this down. There. Okay, so we have three tables, right? We have Uma distance with the Uma, and then what are their rating for each of the distant kind of race. We also have Uma demographics, where we have the Uma stats. What if I want to know Maruzensky? I know her stats, but I want to know whether she can run a medium race or a long race. Then I need to actually get the data from Uma distance, right? Because the data is actually now in another table. So how do we do that? Okay, let me copy and paste over. So this is how we do it, using join. So there are actually 4 kinds of join. There is a inner join. So what inner join does is that we have let's say you have 8 records in table A, and then you have another 8 record in table B. What inner join does is that it will look at both record, and then will join where you have matching record for both tables A and B. And then we also have left join, where you will look at table A and table B, and then you will take everything from table A, and then will get only the rows from table B where the record ID matches the table A ID. And then we have right join, which is the other side, which is you take everything from the next table, the second table, and then only the matching table from the first table. So let me demonstrate. So let's say, for example, now we want to join this demographics and distance table. So this is what I have written. Select demo.uma ID, speed, stamina, power, distance medium, distance long from Uma demographics as demo, inner join Uma distance as this on demo Uma ID equal to this Uma ID. Okay, I know this is a lot, so let me explain. So let's run this and then I'll explain. So what it does is that we want to join 2 tables, which is the Uma demographics table and the Uma distance table. So for good practice, we always name the tables because we want to use the table name later. So the Uma demographics, we name it as demo, and then the Uma distance, we name it as this. And then by renaming the tables, we can use the short form here. So when I select demo.uma ID, it means that I'm selecting the Uma ID from the Uma demographics table. And then for the rest, I can also do that. I can also put demo.speed and then demo.stamina. But the reason why I didn't put a demo there is because the speed, stamina, and power columns are only found in the demographics table. So there is no conflict between these two tables. So similarly for the distance table, I can also put this dot distance medium, distance long. But again, because the distance grading is only found in the Uma distance table, so even if I don't put the table name in front, it's okay. So in this case, we are joining the left side is Uma demographics, which is demo, and the right side is Uma distance. But because it's an inner join, it doesn't matter. It just try to look for all the records in both tables that has matching Uma ID. That's why demo Uma ID equal to distance Uma ID. So this is what happened when you do that. So let me show you what's the missing. As you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 7 IDs. That's the result of the table. But actually, if you look at the table, are they? Okay. If you look at the table, we have a ghost ship. Uma ID number 8, we have a ghost ship. But then this ghost ship is ID 8, okay? And then you look at distance. We don't have ghost ship here, but we have a ID 9, which is Sakura Bashino. So, which means that Sakura Bashino is only on the Uma distance table, and ghost ship is only on the Uma demographics table. That's the reason why when you do a inner join, you don't see. Okay, let me put a Uma name here so that's easier. Uma name. That's why when you join, oh, okay. So this is what happened. You have an error now because Uma name is found in both tables. So now I have an error telling me that Uma name is ambiguous. Okay, fine. Then I just put demo in front now. You can also put this because since it's found in both tables. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, so now you can see that we don't have ghost ship and we don't have Sakura Bashino because only these 7 Umas are found in both tables. So this is what we mean by inner join. Okay, and then there's left join, right? Okay, remember that the first table that we have here is Uma demographics. Okay, then after that we join Uma distance, which means that on the left is Uma demographics. So what happened now is that you can see ghost ship in the result because we are using a left join, which means that we are taking everything from the left table. So that's why you have ghost ship. And then because ghost ship doesn't exist in the Uma distance table, so these two values will be null. That's why it's empty. Okay, so this is left join. And then if let's say you want to see Sakura Bashino, you just do a right join. Are they? Okay. In this case, because I'm using demo Uma ID and demo Uma name, that's why it's not showing Sakura Bashino. If you want to see, it's actually very simple. Since we are doing a right join, we will use the ID from the right table and the name from the right table, and then you can see Sakura Bashino. Similarly, we have value G for medium race, G for long race for Sakura Bashino, but then we don't have any stats because she's not found in the left table. So this is how you have left join and right join, and inner join is matching. Okay, so that is joining What if you want to join more than 2 tables? Okay, so remember we have a third table. This is the running style of the UMA. So we have front, page chaser, leg surger, and end closer. Only 4 types: style ID 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you look at UMA distance table, we have a style ID here. Okay, but then it's like, why is 1313? We don't know what's that. We want to know actually what is style ID. So we want to join with the UMA style table. So let's say, for example, let's get back to inner join. Let's add this style ID. Okay. Now when I join these 2 tables, UMA demographics and UMA distance, I added a style ID. We can also see the style ID here because style ID is found in the UMA distance. Okay, I want to know what are exactly these style ID, but the information is in, like I said, in the UMA style table. So which means that I want to join one more table. So all you have to do is add one more table lah. So you add one more join UMA style as STYL on. So the style ID is only found in this. So in this dot style ID equal to STYL dot style ID. Okay. Let's add, instead of style ID, let's put what was that style name? Style name. Okay. So now you can see by joining one more table, we found the information we wanted. So now we know Maruzensky is front runner, Airgrove is leg surger, and so on. So all you have to do is like join another table lor. So this is how you join more than one table. Just join. But of course, for best practice, we don't join that many tables. Okay, so besides joining, there's also something called union. Okay, this is not something very common. I'll show you what I mean. So this is a union. Let's say I remove the word union. Okay, in this select statement, I am looking for the UMA where the distance medium is equal to S from the UMA distance. So Mayano Top Gun, her medium distance is S. So I gave her a label, medium S as label. Okay, and then I want to look for from the UMA demographics, all the UMA where the speed is more than 700. So these are the 5 UMA whose speed are more than 700. So that's why I have a label, speed more than 700. So if you want me to prove to you, I just add the word speed there. So you can see indeed the speed are more than 700. Okay, so if I union these 2 table, what will happen? Remove the semicolon. There's an error. Okay, because union has a very weird requirement. You must have the same number of columns from the 2 table. So now, because I added a speed column, the UMA demographics select statement has 3 columns, but then UMA distance has only 2 columns. So if let's say I remove the speed now, it will run. So that's what happened. So this is how you use union, which is guess it would be helpful if you are looking for particular data from one table and then another particular data from another table. Like for example, in this case, I want to look for all the Uma where the medium distance is S, and then all the Uma whose speed is more than 700. So in this case, of course, you can see that Mayano Top Gun is in both table, medium S and speed more than 700. So this is how you use the union if you want to find information, and then the information is all over the place in different tables. Yeah. Okay, the next one is complicated. Let me see whether I should. Okay, maybe I should do this in the next session, because that will be a bit difficult. I will do two more. I will do two other functions. Not functions. Okay, never mind. So next, I want to talk about how we can handle strings text. So okay, there's something called the len. So let's see what it does. So let's say we don't put the len. Okay, we have Uma name here. Let's say we select the name from the Uma demographics. Are they? Okay, so we have all the names here. Okay, but what if I want to check what are the len of these names? So what does it mean? It means how many characters are this Uma name consisting of. I think the easiest to check is voca, which is 5. Okay, so just now I had one more statement, which is order by. Okay, so I want to order by, let's say I want to either ascending or descending, order by the len of the Uma name. So let's say I want to order by ascending, which is by voca. So what we can do is, or actually that's the best practice, name len, then you have an order by name len, then you can have ascending order by the name len. But you can also be like lazy and not recommended. Let's say I don't want to use a new column, I just very lazy, then I just order by 2. What it means is that order by the second column. So this is how you use the lazily use the column number for order. But anyway, the main thing is actually len. So len is used to check what are the total number of characters in the string. Okay, and then you can also do other things like you can also put upper. Okay, let's remove the order. We can also have upper. So it will show all the characters, push it into uppercase, and then as you suspected, lower will force everything into lowercase. Okay, then I think the next one I won't be able to demonstrate though, because I don't have that information inside. Okay, so actually there's also a function called trim. So what it does is that it will remove the spaces. let's say for example, if let's say somebody accidentally enter Maruzensky with a lot of space in front, then you use the function left trim. So what? Okay, let's say for example we have a text Maru or Haru Ura Ra. Okay, so let's say we have this enter into our table. There are three functions. One is called trim, the trim function. When you put trim, let's say Uma. Actually, I can just put this inside. Yeah, actually I can just put this inside. Let's say you put trim, and then normally this will be your column name. So what it does is that it will remove all the space. You remove the space in front, you remove the space behind. So trim is actually to remove space. So I think I can run this. Can I? No? Cannot? Okay. I think this is only in SQL, not in MySQL. That's why. Yeah, so if you use trim by right, it should remove the left side and the right side spaces. And then if you use L trim, left trim, is to remove all the space on the left with the space on the right still there. And then R trim, which is right trim, is to remove just the space on the right. But apparently this is not for MySQL. This is only for the normal SQL syntax. So that's why you cannot use it in MySQL. Maybe they have another function for MySQL. Okay. Anyway. No. Okay. So that is trim. And then, but trim is not as useful as the next one, which is called substring. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, let's say yeah, it's easier to understand now. So these are the acquired date for the different UMA when we train this UMA. So let's say for example for Maruzensky is 2025 September 8, and then Daiwa Scarlet 2025 August 20th. But what if I want to know which month they were like trained? So we can use something called a substring. If we know how the data is saved, for example, we use substring. Acquired date is the data we want to look at. 6 means starting from the 6th character, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6, starting from 0. And then we only want the 2 characters starting from 6, so which is 0 9. So that's why you see 0 9 here. So if let's say for example I shift 1 to 5, you will see a dash 0. See what I mean? So this is how you use substring when you want to look for only particular substring inside any string or any column. So use the word substring. But there's actually a more efficient way to find the date. I'll tell you later. And then there's also replace. So there's something called replace. So what does it do? It really just replace. So in this case, I want to replace all the UMA name, all replaced by 0. Okay, all replaced by 0. So you see Air Grove, Glass Wonder, Mayo no Cop Gun. So replace will replace these the characters with something else. But do note that because this is a select statement, so it will only show you in this column. So So it's updated in this column alone only. So in the database itself, it's still the same, it's not changed. So let's say I go back to the database, everything is still as per normal. So it doesn't overwrite whatever you have in the database. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, then the next text function example is called locate. So this is interesting because it will try to locate how many how do I put it? You will find the starting position of the specific you will find the starting position of the specified character in the string. 0 if not found. So what it means is that you look at the string. I want to look for the word tree. So in speed 2 there's no tree, so it's 0. In power 3, the word tree is on the character number 6. That's why it has a 6. And then in stamina 3, the word tree, the character tree is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the 8 character. That's why you see an 8 here. So this is actually to locate where is the character in this column. So you can use this to look for specific character that you're looking for, and then use that information to do other query. Like for example, if let's say for example you want to look for maybe you want to look for an email, whether okay, for example you want to know whether the email entered is correct, because email will have this thing, right? So like for example, cloudywing@yahoo.com. Then you can look for the word, you can look for this @ then let's say you locate the @ that is a correct email. Then if let's say you don't, if the @ is 0, that means not located, that means they have entered gibberish for the email. So I think this will be one good way to use the locate function. Okay, then when we talk about string, we have to talk about concatenate, right? Like when you want to combine some strings. So this is how you do it. So okay, let me put blue spark, pink spark. It's easier to visualize. So these are the Uma, and these are their blue spark and the pink spark. If I want to, what I do here is that I can concatenate the blue spark value and then put a space and then the pink spark value and then call it the sparks column. So this is how you combine the two columns. Okay, so far we have completed all the text functions. The next chapter, yes, I have written chapters for it, is about date and time. So this will be slightly more interesting. Okay, so first I have to create an event first, because yeah, I want to create a new table, sorry, not event, create a new table for this example. So now I want to create a table called Uma event. So I have a primary key called the Uma event ID integer, and then the event name, I put 100, no lah, 50 lah, I think 50 is enough. 50 characters maximum varchar. Event launch is a date or time, and then date added. Okay, this is only unique for MySQL. So for MySQL, we have this thing called default current timestamp. So what it does is that it will give you the timestamp automatically that is set in the server. For SQL server, normal SQL server, we use getDate function. So it's exactly the same, getDate or default current timestamp. So what it does is that it will add the current date time or the timestamp on the server. You don't have to manually enter this. So usually people use this for to automatically record when the record is entered. So let's create this table. Running, done. Yeah, done. You can see that it's a green tick, and then we refresh. You can see that it's created, event name, event launch, they added, and then event ID, Uma event ID is the primary key. Okay, now that we have created a table, let's populate it. Okay, so I'm going to insert. What is there? Oh. Okay, so I am inserting into this table Uma event. We have to insert the Uma event ID, event name, event launch, and I told you, right, date added, I don't have to do it because I'm grabbing from the server the timestamp automatically. So what I do is I enter the information like the ID, the event name, and then the event launch. So there is the proper way to enter the date time variable is you enter year, month, day, and then this is the time. So it's 1500 hours 00 second. But at the same time, you can also enter just the date without the time. It will work as well. So let me show you how it works. Okay, done. So let me select everything from Uma events. Okay, so as you can see, we have entered so the first one, special weekend, we only enter the date, right? So that's why the time will be set to default 000000, and then the rest is just as we have entered. And then as I said, there's a date added that we didn't enter, but it will automatically be added because this is grabbed from the server. So it's local time. This is actually local time for we have set local time for the MySQL server. So is this today's date, and then the time now is 11:48. No wonder I'm so sleepy. Okay, so this is how date and time is generated from when we grab from the server. Okay, now we have this table, we can start playing with date and time. First of all, let's do this. Okay, so look at this again. So as you can see, the event launch column that we entered, it has both date and time. But what if I want to know when the event was launched? I don't care what's the time, I only want to know when the date. Then you just have to use the date function, date bracket event launch as launch. So as launch date is the column name. So I only grab the date. We just we just don't show the time. So this is how you grab just the date. Okay, and then the second command is extract. So if let's say we want to extract even further, we can extract the month or the year from the event launch date also. So let's go back there. So we have year, month, day, time. Okay, I want to extract only the month as a launch month, extract only the year as launch year. So this will show like the month 7 10 10 8 8 3 3, and then the year 2017 2018 21 22. So this is how you extract only the month or the year from the date. This will be very helpful when you do data analysis. Okay, we have gone through quite a lot today. We have gone through a lot. So what I'll do is I will end today's stream with all this information, because I'm sure everybody is information overloaded already. And then on the next stream, yes, there's a next stream. On the next stream, we will go into something that is more difficult. We will go into things like case, which the if then else, if this then what, if this then what, and then we will go into things like what if it's you want to do you want to save the query as a procedure. So how do we do that? So we will talk about more about that in the next stream. So I guess I will end the stream here today. As you can see from here, it's already 11:48 p.m. So I'm gonna end the stream here, and I'll see you guys another time. Thank you for joining this stream, and remember to like and subscribe. 加呢